Hey guys, are you feeling overwhelmed by life? I am. I am. I've been working about 28 days straight with no break, and I only work in the morning. Oh, by the way, I am off today, so I am having a break. But I'm making a video, so. And you wonder, what have I got to be overwhelmed about? Because I'm 75. I live alone. I have no responsibilities except my dogs and a cat. Well, I still have my own business. It's an online Roman shade curtains store. And I'm very busy right now. I'm thinking I'm booked till September, the end of September. And it is July the 20th. But I will make it. I'll make it. I do feel overwhelmed, but I only work a half a day every day, so I'm good. And I really don't have anything planned to say today. I've just been remembering all of my life. I've basically been overwhelmed. I think that's how I function. I really do. I think that's how I function. My earlier life, I was a school teacher. Everything was fine. I should have stayed a school teacher, but I didn't. I started having children, and I wanted to stay home with them. So my mom and I started this business, a curtain business, so I could stay home with my children. They could be in our shop, and I could race them. It was great. It really was. But I have been stressed out and overworked my whole life. And I guess the years that I was married would not even total 14. So I've been on my own most of my life, making my own living, doing my own thing. But this business has always, I've never made a great deal of money, but to me it was profitable. I could raise my kids, pay my bills, and there have been times when it's been very, very slow, like 2008. Does anybody remember 2008? Oh my God, I do. It was bad, but I made it through, and my business is still going. I think I started my online business about, I would say, 14 years ago. And I don't know why it took off. I have no idea, but I'm thankful for it. Very thankful for it. I don't advertise. I do maybe put things on Pinterest every now and then, but that's no big whoop. You know what I'm saying? I think it's word of mouth. I do have a good product, and I'm thinking they're not that expensive. I don't know. Some people tell me up north it would be 3 times that much if they had things made up there. And another reason I think that my business is successful is because after COVID, like all the workrooms, sewing workrooms shut down. There was no work. No one was doing anything. People certainly weren't ordering curtains. So all the workrooms shut down. But let me tell you what happened to me when COVID hit. Number one, in January, right before, it got bad, we were in a trial of the drunk driver who killed my grandson. So that was so stressful. It was so heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking for years, still is. However, I think God sent me all of this business during COVID. I mean, people were sitting at home. I'm sure they were on their computers, and that's where all my work came from. I'm serious. I made a lot of money and was able, I had already sold my house and was beginning to fix up this shed that I live in. Quinn, don't do that. My dog. He does not understand why I'm talking. He's going, what are you saying? What do you want me to do? It's okay, buddy. Anyway, my grandson, who worked for a tire company, they were still working. He was on the road delivering tires, that kind of thing. And he would come home. I was living with my daughter and her oldest son. Her middle son was in college, and they were all locked down also. Of course, her youngest son was deceased, but I was living with them. My grandson would come home every day and he'd say, what were the sales today, Gran? It was always like 1,000, 4,000. I mean, a day. And that was just during COVID. Nothing like that happens now. Nothing like that happens now. But that was a lot of work, and it kept my mind occupied, kept me busy. What if I hadn't have been busy, just sitting on the couch, grieving for my grandson, which I did anyway. The mornings were the toughest while I was drinking coffee. I would just sit there and cry and drink coffee. And at night, how do you go to sleep thinking about your grandson being gone? But it was hell. If you've ever lost a child, which, God, I hope you haven't. But if you have, you know what I was going through, and the rest of my family who were going through. Back to being overwhelmed. I was very overwhelmed. And plus, I didn't have my workroom anymore. So I had to set up my workroom in my daughter's extra building, which was a storage building, basically. She called it her garage, but it wasn't used as a garage. It was in her backyard. And it had one light bulb. Well, my eyes were ruined during that time because I was there for 8 months. I had to get through COVID before I could let the guys come and work on my house because no one was working, you understand? But I've been so overwhelmed all of my life. And I go back to when I lived next door in my 2-story house. My son and his children lived with me at the time. I remember how overwhelmed I was. I worked maybe 12 hours a day, every day, even on the weekend, because I was shouldering, the cost of my son and his kids. He needed me at that time. He needed me. Have you ever been so overwhelmed and sad and hurt that you just want to go home and fall into the arms of your mom and dad? I have. And they were long gone. But a few times I just wanted to go home. Just go home and rest. So when my son needed me, I was there for him. He came home. He had a place. He didn't have to worry about anything for a while because he was going through a divorce, which was hurtful for him. So I was there for him when he needed me. But I remember being overwhelmed. And you know what I miss right now? I miss being overwhelmed by them because I live alone now, strictly alone. I go weeks sometimes without seeing a soul. Now I can look out the door and look at the UPS man, but I'm not going to go out there and have a conversation with him. I think that's why I do videos. I get to talk to someone. You're there, whoever you are. I'm talking to you. It gives me something. Sometimes you just gotta talk to someone. Every now and then. Now, I'm an introvert. I am not a talker. I grew up shy most of my life. Hate parties. A true introvert. True introvert. But every now and then, I will have to go somewhere, like to a shower, Thanksgiving. So, of course, I go with my daughter, and I just talk the whole way. And I know she'd go, oh my God, I wish she'd shut up. But I don't have anyone to talk to. So I'm making videos. But let me tell you about being overwhelmed. If you're overwhelmed, just remember, it will not last forever. Sooner or later, it has to be over. If you're overwhelmed with a job you're doing, it will be over soon. I remember installing curtains that were 24 feet high on a window facing a lake. Oh my God, the things I have done. And I took my husband, actually he was my ex-husband at the time, but I took him with me. Of course I paid him. I think I did, I don't know. But I got him to help me. He climbed that ladder and put up that valance on that large board with swags and trim, and I don't know how he held it up and put it up at the same time, but he did. And driving home, I apologized that he had such a hard job to do and all of that, and he said, no matter what the job is, sooner or later, it will be over. That's all you have to keep thinking when you're doing it, that sooner or later, it will be over. So I'm very stressed out this summer. I have more work than I can physically do, but I will get it done. And I'm going to take the advice of my ex-husband and know that it will be over soon, because it can't last forever. I just want to leave you with one little thought. If you're overwhelmed with children, hug them, love them, take care of them. They're not a burden. They are not a burden. They're a precious gift. Go fix them something to eat. Love them. I'd give anything to have my family back the way it was. And it too has passed, because we'll never be the same. I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you guys. Have a good day, and I will see you next time.